Hi folks, it is time for science. This is your screencast for Wednesday, April 8th and Thursday, April 9th. So today you are going to know the difference between ionic and covalent bonding, and we're going to be doing this through the Mickey Mouse molecule. This is another one of the pages in the handout that you got in the packet. And then I'm also going to talk about doing the next part of the PhET project today. So let's go ahead and go into Schoology. We're going to take a look at the week of April 6th. You should have already done all of this stuff for ions in Lewis dot, and we're going to skip all the way into assignment for April 8th or April 9th, depending on what period you're in. And you'll see that you are going to be actually filling out the handout and taking a picture of this. So let's actually take a look, number one, at the handout. There's 2 pages to it. Number one, you're going to get this sort of page 1 where we have 2 brief slides of notes. Of course, a question of the day to make sure you're keeping up with remembering all of these things that we've been learning. And then we're going to learn about the 2 types of bonds and what do they look like when we are drawing a Lewis dot structure. And it's coming all together with the Lewis dots and the oxidations and all that kind of thing. And then you're going to see a space here for you to paste the Mickey Mouse molecule that you're going to create. So let's take a look at that actual Mickey Mouse molecule. Now, this has some really good reading. It talks about water and the atoms that comprise water. And why does it bond in the way that it bonds? And the really curious thing about water is when we put all of these hydrogens and oxygens together, it ends up looking like a little Mickey Mouse head. And so this is kind of your exemplar for what you're going to do with the Mickey Mouse molecule when you're creating it yourself. If you go to the next page, this is going to be what you build. You're going to have oxygen, and in the middle you have your oxygen nucleus with 8 protons and 8 neutrons. And then you're going to cut out oxygen's little electrons and put them in the valence shells, just as if you've done when you're drawing them. We've had lots of practice with this when we are in our atom unit. So the first shell is going to have 2 electrons, and the second shell is going to have the remaining 6, and you'll paste them around. Now, the special thing with those 6 is there's going to be a couple that are shared with hydrogen. You're going to have 4 that kind of stick out on one end, but you're going to have 1 electron here that'll get shared with hydrogen, and 1 electron here that will get shared with hydrogen. And you're going to make those hydrogen atoms as well. So here's our hydrogen, and we have the nuclei. It just has the 1 proton, so you'll cut this out, paste it in the middle, and then same with the hydrogen electron. You'll cut it out and you'll put it in that shell, the only place it can go. Once you've made your hydrogens and oxygens, you're going to put them together, and you'll put the hydrogens, up top. It'll look like a Mickey Mouse, and you'll see that the hydrogen also shares that electron with oxygen. So not only is water kind of giving, or is oxygen giving an electron, hydrogen is also giving an electron. And that way, they're both happy. Hydrogen wants an outer shell of 2, and if oxygen shares 1, and it already has 1, it's going to have that full outer shell. And vice versa. You get 2 hydrogens, each sharing 1 electron with oxygen, and voila, all of a sudden oxygen was 6, it has a couple 2 that are shared, that's equal to 8. Oxygen is happy now too. So you're going to actually craft it. It's going to be some cutting and some pasting, so some actual work. There's some questions here that are answered in the reading. And then you're going to, of course, paste this completed molecule onto the front of that sheet. So that's what you're going to turn in for the assignment. You're going to take a picture of the front side with those notes. The notes are embedded in this PowerPoint right here. Remember that it's only the 2 slides. It's the question of the day, and it is also the two types of bonds, ionic and covalent. You'll also find in this PowerPoint a video of the types of chemical bonds, how they share electrons and so on and so forth, and it goes into a little bit more depth. And then the same with a little bit more information about the Mickey Mouse molecule and some properties of water. So I hope that those resources are really helpful to you. Once you are done with the handout, you'll take a picture of both sides, the front side and the back side. Of course, that front side has those quick notes from the PowerPoint and your Mickey Mouse molecule. The back side will have this right here, and you're responsible for filling in these questions right here. Again, the answers to these questions on the Mickey Mouse molecule part of this handout are in the reading. So you're going to have to read this and actively read it. You can highlight things, underline things, make annotations, and you'll use that to actually answer these questions. Once you're done with that, you'll take a picture front and back and submit it into Schoology. And remember, there's a number of different ways you can do that. Number one, you can take a picture of both sides and put those pictures onto a Google or Word document. You can upload the picture files directly. And you can also download the note taker and fill in the assignment digitally. This will be a lot harder with the Mickey Mouse molecule. So if you are doing that route, I wish you good luck. And do your best. I understand that it can be difficult. I understand that that might be a little frustrating. But if you are using that resource, I'm sure that you will be able to be techie and figure it out. So, only other thing for today is to make sure that you take care of that attendance quiz and do the PhET. So the PhET is the Build a Molecule PhET. I do have the link to the PhET lab project. Remember that you're just getting signatures as you go along. And you're going to click this link to go to the Build a Molecule PhET. Something to note about the Build a Molecule PhET is that it is a JavaScript PhET. Not everyone's computers will be able to run JavaScript. So if you're one of those people, then don't worry about it, sign off on it, and be done. We're not going to penalize you for not having access to a computer or technology such as JavaScript. So don't freak out about it if you can't access it, but we still ask that you try it in earnest and do your best. If you can't access it, you can't access it. But if you can access it, do try it out and enjoy the experience. I wish you all a wonderful day. That's it for today. Make sure that you take the attendance quiz, do the Mickey Mouse molecule activity, and do the Build a Molecule PhET. I hope you all enjoy. I am always available in the Google Hangouts and office hours for questions. Bye!